Cardiff Castle is made up of two main buildings. One is the 12th century Norman keep that I'm standing on right now, and the second is the building behind me. And it looks medieval, doesn't it? Well, that's a little bit of a Victorian folly because it was actually built in the 19th century for a very fancy family called the Butes, who were very important to Cardiff history.
Yes, those Butes were at it again here. The Bute family owned the lands of Cardiff Castle for many generations, but it was the third Marquis who made it into what we see today. So, if it's color and fancy design you desire, may I present to you the Cardiff Castle apartments.
There are many gorgeous rooms here inside the castle apartments. This room was the winter smoking room, and it is where the men would go after dinner to drink their port and smoke their cigars. But it was definitely men only. In fact, before they could even get into the doorway, this beast would scare the ladies away to make sure they weren't gossiping or listening at the door.
Ooh. And that's just the beginning. The castle apartments look like a medieval castle, right? But not so fast. This was built in the 19th century, so it is a neo-Gothic Victorian fantasy with a lot, and I do mean a lot, of embellishments. In 1865, the third Marquis of Bute continued his father's work on Cardiff Castle, along with William Burgess, the architect and designer, and together they transformed Cardiff Castle into a dream palace. Clearly, they both believed that more is more.
So obviously the big impact is talking about these battles, and we've got war and important people. We have these gentle little bunny rabbits.
Yes.
What are these little more gentle features we have here?
You'll find a lot of this going on. There's a big nature theme that goes on throughout the house anyway. You know, nature was popular in the 19th century anyway, and Lord Bute actually was anti-hunting and anti-vivisection, which you might not realise. William Burgess, of course, had his own parrot called Polly, so you do see a lot of parrots around here as well. There's a parrot used to sit on his shoulder, apparently.
Really? That's who was drawing his plans and things, probably.
Yes, I imagine so, yeah.
To say that the design here is quirky is an understatement.
Seriously, what is that?
There are dozens of small rooms, each with a specific purpose, and winding staircases and little nooks and crannies throughout the castle. No surface was left untouched. One of the most wow-worthy rooms is the Arab Room, a Moorish design inspired by William Burgess's own travels, as well as the design trends of the time. To create this soaring ceiling with its seemingly never-ending geometric patterns, further and further receding into the heavens, 2 upper floors had to be completely removed. But what was added is even more curious. That is not just gold paint, my friends, but gold leaf. All brushed on by hand, tiny piece by piece. It is estimated that the Arab Room is valued at more than $10 million. Our next room is equally wow-worthy, although maybe not as expensive, the summer smoking room. Seriously, how much smoking did they do in the Victorian era to need a winter and a summer smoking room?
This room is amazing. It seems as if it has 3 levels or even kind of extends up into the sky. Talk about the design idea and what we see as we look up.
Well, the design idea here, really, the theme in this room is the universe. So up upon the ceiling, you have the 4 elements personified. So you have earth, you have water, air, and fire. You have large gold leaf stars. Those are the constellations. And you have mirrors then. They are individual stars. And the idea is that when the candles on the chandelier were lit, the mirrors then would twinkle like stars in the night sky. You are up in the universe, up with the gods.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful.
The Marquis and William Burgess worked together for years, creating the beauty of Cardiff Castle apartments. And every work of art needs a frame, right? So framing Cardiff Castle is the historic animal wall, with darling animals including a pair of lions holding shields, a seal, a hyena, and a couple of giggling monkeys.